Hello and welcome to Elevating Your Life with Paula Vail. Thank you for joining us today. I am so happy to have you with us, and I am so happy to share an absolutely amazing woman. She's going to just give us some insight and inspiration, which you will remember for a long time. I just adore our guest today. I have known her a while. We have with us today Kathryn Martin. She is a next chapter coach and creator of the Career Life Breakthrough Academy. She coaches, she does so much. I'm just going to let you tell us about you, Kathryn. You have so much. You're an award winner, top leadership coach of the year, so many things. First off, welcome, Kathryn. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Paula. It's good to see you again, this time via video rather than in real life. Thank you for inviting me to be on the show.
My honor, my honor.
So I help people and nonprofits, people and organizations at what I call crossroad moments. Times of change, whether we have initiated it or it is happening to us. Whether it's an internal kind of crossroad or an externally generated crossroad. And I support leaders and organizations at this moment where maybe you don't know what to do next. You're successful, you have a career, you've reached this point, and now things are starting to shift. You might be feeling a pulling, all different scenarios, really, doesn't matter, as long as it's at a self-described crossroads where you know something needs to shift or something is shifting. And what do you do next then? When the trajectory that you've been going on now, you want to change it. So therefore, what happens and how do I do it? So help people curate their dream next chapter with ease, with joy, I know that's important to you, with financial sustainability, and we'll talk about why that's so important, and the impact that they are meant to achieve. So I have a career in not only coaching individuals, but working with mostly arts and culture organizations. I'm one of this country's few professional interim CEOs. I've led 11 organizations through times of change and transition, helping them between their leaders. I've done turnarounds and again, connect to who the organization is and where do they go next.
I love that. I love that. You change lives. You do, Kathryn. You change lives. And I'm so excited for one of the topics we're going to be discussing today, how we impact others, how our lives impact others. And,
yes.
And you know, knowing what our impact is going to be is huge. Tell us about that, Kathryn.
So what I found, I worked in executive search and now with coaching, so often people are when we're deciding what to do, what I've realized is that there's foundational information that's missing. So we start answering the question, what should I do next and how and when, by Googling, by listening to experts, by looking at best practices, and instead, and then it not working. People getting in jobs or lives where they are considered successful perhaps, but they're not happy. There's a feeling that something's missing. Or they're applying for jobs and they're not getting it. Or they get the jobs and they're miserable. So what I figured out after watching this frustrating process happen over and over again is that we don't know as individuals really who we are and why we're here. And I have found that trying to find one's purpose is really hard. Like, how? How do I do that? And we get confused with things that we like that bring us joy is different than why we are here. And so for me, what has unlocked everything, and now what I teach my clients in the Career Life Breakthrough Academy and coaching one-on-one is by looking at impact, the impact that we have on others when we are showing up fully in joy. So if we can look at what happens to others, not just how we feel, but what happens to others when we are showing up fully, it's like the best of both worlds. It's like, wait, you mean when I'm having that peak moment feeling, I'm having the impact that I'm meant to have on those around me? Like, so all I need to do is to get clear on that feeling and clear on the impact and mesh them together. And that, in my opinion, is our purpose. That's why we're here. And that becomes then, so we might feel that feeling once a year, maybe once a month. And the goal is to then create that dynamic more and more frequently. And so if we think of that feeling as our point B, what should we do next? When should we do it? How should we do it? What decisions should we make? What salary should we negotiate? I mean, every single question that you could throw at me, I would say, well, it depends on what is the impact that you're meant to have on others. And once we know that, we say, well, then therefore, what are the embodied actions? What are the feelings we need to feel? The thoughts we need to think? The language, I work with language a lot. What's the language we need to use? What are the actions that we need to take to create the possibility of having that feeling of joy in the way that I describe it, and the impact on others?
Yeah.
That was a long answer to your question.
Yes.
I'm really excited.
Yes. And my gosh, how many times is it that we can be focused on our vision and our purpose and what we're doing and be so focused on accomplishing that, we can forget what an impact what we do will be on others.
Yes. And, I said I work with a lot of purposeful leaders and mission-driven organizations. And what I found is that we get a little confused. So if I'm working for the Red Cross and I believe in their mission, is it my purpose to help, is the mission of the Red Cross my purpose? No. And we get confused when we work for causes that we love and are passionate about. But our purpose, it is in our impact. So it's the way in which we manage. It's the way in which we help people feel empowered, no matter what the cause. So I always say, this is our purpose, the impact that we have on others when we're feeling joy. The beautiful thing is, what should I do? Anything that creates that possibility. So it could be working as an executive director, it could be shifting careers and being an entrepreneur, it could be being a mom. None of it matters. The vehicle doesn't matter as long as you have the causes and conditions to do you, feeling joy, impacting others, no matter what. So instead of focusing on accomplishing things, with this foundational knowledge, all we have to focus on is being, so that being love, being helpful, being creative, whatever our words are that resonate with us, being the feeling that creates the possibility for impact. The 4 years ago, I made a leap from a very respected job, and I went out on my own. And in the beginning, all I knew about what I wanted to do, all I could express was, I don't know, but I want to do things that make my heart sing. And I actually did it kind of flippantly, Paula, and now I don't say it flippantly. Like, I had such insight that what could be more clear and what could be a better path to follow, to figure out, than doing the things that bring me joy. And what the other aspect of that too is that this all happens in the present moment. And so there's these multi-layers. So After I made this leap and started my own coaching business, our son was diagnosed with brain lymphoma out of the blue, 24-year-old son, out of the blue. And he survived and he fought it. And what I learned in that experience was, for the first time in my life, I was exactly where I was meant to be, because I had started curating my life to create the possibility for joy and impact. So I was coaching. I was at his bedside, and then I was coaching. And in my old job, it would have been, oh, so stressful to balance work and personal life. In fact, I would have, of course, quit. And the other aspect to that being in the present moment is that I remember there was one time where a friend was, my husband and I were standing next to each other, and they said, "How's Gavin?" And I responded, "He's doing great." And my husband was shocked. He looked at me, he said, "What do you mean he's doing great? He has cancer. He has cancer." And I was very confused, because what I realized that I had already made that shift, and what my reality was today, right now, we had laughter at the bedside. He was enjoying the nurses. And we were so tapped into the present moment. We had everything we needed. I was feeling joy. I was having impact on Gavin, because I was there present, showing up as me fully, not in the what ifs might happen, down the road with his cancer, not in the past thinking about how did this happen. I was fully present in joy, having ripples of impact. So knowing this, being this, it shifts what we do to how can we be. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. And isn't it amazing, Kathryn, when we shift, when we, think about our impact on others, and even to focus on wanting our impact to be positive and caring for others, that totally affects what comes into our lives and what manifests and generates.
It does. And I think the word momentum just popped into my mind too. I work with so many people in their careers, and they feel stuck. When we start shifting the focus from literally how do we want to make other people feel? How do we want to be in service to others? All of a sudden, movement starts occurring. Like, we get out of our own way. We focus on others. It feels good. We do some more of it. All of a sudden, we're attracting the people that need this particular way that we're being. They want it. They refer us, and so that momentum builds. And it is. I agree. It is through the lens of shifting how we look at why we're here and what we want. We want to help others.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think a lot, again, because I'm working with successful leaders, they don't know. This is the thing, they don't know they're missing foundational knowledge. They don't know that they don't really understand why they are here. Or if they have been on a quest for that, they've used tools that may be, maybe meditation or kind of silence, journaling, to try to really strive to try to clasp onto and have clarity around purpose. Who am I? And it's hard. It's hard. It was hard for me. I remember actually being in a group leadership retreat, and it was a 3-day retreat, and at day 2.5 it was to help us find our purpose. And so day 2.5, the facilitator is expecting, like, okay, you all gonna have your breakthroughs, and we're going around in the circle, and everyone was like, my purpose is, and my purpose is, and I was getting more and more nervous as it was coming closer to me, because my mind was a blank. And so it was my turn, and I said, I don't have a purpose. And the room, this is what I love about group coaching, the room just kind of gasped. And they said, "Oh, Kathryn, your purpose is to help others find their purpose. This is what you've been doing all weekend with us."
Oh,
I'm like,
oh,
I have. And that very thing, and this is the other thing too, Paula, our purpose, the impact that we have on others, it's part of our DNA. We don't need any more education. We don't need another class or a course. Like, it is just part of us. We've been doing this since a child. And because it comes so effortlessly to us, we tend to not even notice it. We tend to not even value it. We tend to, I don't know, just to not know, because
yes.
it's already here.
And not knowing and having it just kind of come to us is okay. I really believe your purpose can come to you and it's not even something you expected. Myself, I was going to college to be an accountant. I started working at a restaurant. I had my life all figured out. I was going to be an accountant. I ended up loving the restaurant and ended up becoming a restaurant owner. I mean, our purpose can change. And really, wouldn't you say we can evolve in finding our purpose, or,
Yes, yes,
producing another purpose as we
I
grow older and become more experienced?
yes, Anne. So when you talk about the restaurant, so in my language, I say, oh, when she went from accountant to restaurateur, you were choosing different vehicles that you were passionate about,
Yeah.
and all of the ones that you loved, all of the different jobs that you had and roles that you had, the ones that you loved, it was because, I would posit, that they were you had created the causes and conditions for you to be making people feel seen and heard, or making people feel empowered, and to me, that impact,
Yes.
overarching impact that you have on others, is
Yes.
what I call purpose.
Yes.
And yes, we will hopefully in our lives have many different vehicles for living in that purpose.
Yes.
The challenge is that people want to choose the vehicle,
Mhm.
and then and then keep changing vehicles and not feeling fulfilled enough because they haven't connected to why they love or why they don't love each vehicle. So it gets really easy once we have that kind of map of ourselves.
I love that, Kathryn. I mean, we have our purpose inside us, but I'm going to change my vehicle. I'm going to get out of this red car and I'm going to get in this blue car,
Yes,
but I can still fulfill my purpose. I love that.
yes, yes. And your purpose is not limited to the red car, the wonderful, exciting, in my case, nonprofit organization or cause we believe in. That's not our purpose. It's something that we might be really well schooled and versed in how to run that car.
Yes.
So this idea of having that clarity about ourselves, knowing our impact on others when we're feeling joy. So then, if we know it, then the next step is to how do we communicate it? And I always do this with my fingers. So if we know as a fact, not just positive thinking, that we are here that when we feel joy, we help others. We help others that we're meant to help. So therefore, all these people are just waiting to find us. Not everybody in the world, but the people that we're meant to help in some way are right here. And so how are they going to find us? Some of us find us by luck. We literally like bump into each other, or through our jobs or through our family members or whatever. But what could happen? Can we imagine what would happen if we knew our value, we knew our purpose, our input, we knew how we serve, we help others, and then we communicate it, we let people know, so that, not out of vanity, not to sell something, but so that the people that are meant to benefit or that can help us on our journey can find us. And so, this has a really, I work with people on preparing for job interviews. So this translates into resumes and cover letters, in networking, in interviewing. but also for leaders who want to thrive in their current job and they say, my boss doesn't value me. Well, if we don't have that foundational knowledge of what our impact is on others, and we can't express it, how can we, it's really not very fair to say, well, why don't they know my value? They should just know, so the more we can be knowledgeable about ourselves, and then we can communicate it, and then we can make decisions. Oh, well, I don't want to go, I'm good in this red car, but only if it has a full tank of gas, if all the wheels are inflated, and if, I don't want to get into a vehicle, I don't want to get into a new job, I don't want to get into a new relationship, if the causes and conditions, what I need internally and externally to feel joy and impact others aren't there. So let me choose really wisely.
Yes.
And then the last thing is to curate our lives to make this possible. And too, as we start to be in flow with this clarity, momentum builds, and there's an ease about it. Decisions become easier. I was saying before we went on, we are, after my son had cancer, my husband and I started shifting our lives. And we said, it's always saving for a rainy day. We went on he retired early. We went on a 30-day around the world global pilgrimage. We moved to Santa Barbara. And I was saying before we went on, in my other home, to go on and talk with people on Zoom and video, I had to work really hard with lighting and sound. It was so hard to do. Here I am. I literally just sit down here at my desk. There's a window here, and it's a silly example, but this happens in my life now, and I'm sure in yours too, that momentum builds, and we are continually in exactly where we need to be.
Yes. Oh, Kathryn, please share with everyone how they can contact you for coaching or to get information. And then we have just a few minutes left in the show. What last words do you want to leave with everyone today?
Oh, thank you. So I have a free gift actually for your listeners, and it's a new gift a new e-guide that I'm creating for people who are going through a crossroad moment of some kind in transition, whether you want it or not, and to help people move through. So that you can find at createyourdreamcareer.com. Createyourdreamcareer.com. That will sign people up for my website, my email communication. I do Happy Friday emails with insights and all sorts of ways to get a hold of me and work with me. I work with clients one-on-one. And I've created that Career Life Breakthrough Academy that takes that mushy process of who am I and walks us. I have a step-by-step process that now hundreds of leaders have gone through and then curated their dream career. And I think, Paula, just to know that it's to take responsibility for who we are, and to know that we have everything we need within us, and it's been with us since a child. So our purpose is already within us, and now it's just finding ways to reveal it so that others may benefit.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathryn. I am just so thrilled to share you with everyone. And it's, really some powerful statements there. I mean, and every day is a new day. It's really great how we can move forward with our purpose and discover that and realize the impact. Gosh, I'm just so thrilled to everyone for joining us and being part of the Joy Seekers. Kathryn, I'm just so thrilled to have had you on the show today. I love it.
Thank you, Paula. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Love, hugs, and blessings, everyone. Kathryn, love, hugs, and blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.